of your soul, and it is yours to bring forth sweet music from it, or confused sounds. And now you ask in your heart, how shall we distinguish that which is good in pleasure from that which is not good? Go to your fields and your gardens, and you shall learn that it is the pleasure of the bee to gather honey of the flower. But it is also the pleasure of the flower to yield its honey to the bee. For to the bee a flower is a fountain of life, and to the flower a bee is a messenger of love. And to both bee and flower, the giving and the receiving of pleasure is a need and an ecstasy. People of Orphalese, be in your pleasures like the flowers and the bees. How true is that? One of the ways that the Catholic priests that take a vow of celibacy, or the nuns, look at nature. Look at nature and understand that there is beauty in sex. There's beauty in reproduction. There's beauty in that exchange that we can give each other as humans. Sure, if people want to make self-denial their path and they want to, do that, but please don't say it's from God. And don't say that that's the only righteous path to take, because it's not. And in fact, it has done the opposite for some people. For some people, it has driven them to have a desire, and they have done bad things in place of their self-denial. So, Khalil Gibran understood this. And I can definitely see a prophet of God, answering this way when the people ask, "Oh, should we be having sex with each other? I mean, should I be sleeping with my wife?" And a prophet of God is not only there to just give messages, but is there to comfort the people. Because in a time of need is when the messages come, right? So at that particular time in that nation, when that messenger becomes, a visible person to them, the job of the messenger is not just to give a message and leave. Job of the messenger, if they are truly aligned to God, is to comfort and to spread love, because that's what we come from. And a messenger is closer to that source because they are open to it as a channel of the divine messages in order to spread to others. And a poet said, "Speak to us of beauty." And he answered, "Where shall you seek beauty? And how shall you find her unless she herself be your way and your guide? But how shall you speak of her except she be the weaver of your speech? The aggrieved and the injured say, beauty is kind and gentle. Like a young mother half shy of her own glory, she walks among us. And the passionate say, nay, beauty is a thing of might and dread. Like the temptress, she shakes the earth beneath us and the sky above us. And the tired and the weary say, beauty is a soft whisperings. She speaks in our spirit. Her voice yields to our silences like a faint light that quivers in fear of the shadow. But the restless say, we have heard her shouting among the mountains, and with her cries came the sound of hoofs, and the beating of wings, and the roaring of lions. As you can see, beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder. That the way someone filters from their own experiences is how they will see beauty. A person who is injured and has not been taken care of and has had a hard life, they will see beauty in things that are kind and gentle towards them. In a person who is more passionate, fiery, and they truly want to be moved by experiences, they will see beauty as a thing of might, of a thing that can shake the earth, like an earthquake or a hurricane or act of nature. And they will find that beautiful. And the tired and the weary will say that beauty is of soft whisperings, meaning someone who is tired, weary of this world will see that beauty is in comfort. So all the different ways that we see beauty is because we are looking for that to fulfill something within our own lack of life at that moment in time. I can say, and I can attest, my view of beauty is truth. I believe that everything true is beauty. And I believe that I see beauty this way because I am seeking for more truth in the world at this point, because I see so many lies and illusions in the world. So my view of beauty is truth because that's what I'm looking for. So Khalil Gibran understood that different perspectives would see beauty, and that's why beauty is very subjective. There's not one type of beauty that fits the mold of what everybody's looking for. There could be a physical beauty that's kind of, people can see as sharing in the same traits and qualities that everybody's kind of looking for. But in terms of subjective emotional tie, you really have to be looking for that type of beauty. At night the watchmen of the city say, "Beauty shall rise with the dawn from the east." And at noontide the toilers and the wayfarers say, "We have seen her leaning over the earth from the windows of the sunset." And in winter say the snowbound, "She shall come with the spring leaping upon the hills." And in the summer heat the reapers say, "We have seen her dancing with the autumn leaves, and we saw a drift of snow in her hair. All these things have you said of beauty, yet in truth you spoke not of her, but of needs unsatisfied." And beauty is not a need, but an ecstasy. It is not a mouth thirsting, nor an empty hand stretching forth, but rather a heart inflamed and a soul enchanted. It is not the image you would see, nor the song you would hear, but rather an image you see though you close your eyes, and a song you hear though you shut your ears. It is not the sap within the furrowed bark, nor a wing attached to a claw, but rather a garden forever in bloom, and a flock of angels forever in flight. Yeah, that's how I see beauty too. The true reality. A garden forever in bloom, a garden of bliss, and their companions the angels. That dimension of consciousness is where I see ultimate truth and beauty. And Khalil Gibran saw that too. That's really cool. People of Orphalese, beauty is life when life unveils her holy face. But you are life, and you are the veil. Beauty is eternity gazing at itself in a mirror. But you are eternity, and you are the mirror. There's some deep stuff right there. And hopefully it got to some of these people. I mean, it didn't happen, but I'm saying, if it did, this is something that could change a society for the better. if this type of wisdom was really embodied and they actually saw each other as eternal beings instead of, just Bob or Sue. And an old priest said, "Speak to us of religion." And he said, "Have I spoken this day of aught else? Is not religion all deeds and all reflection? And that which is neither deed nor reflection, but a wonder and a surprise ever springing in the soul, even while the hands hew the stone or tend the loom? Who can separate his faith from his actions, or his belief from his occupations? Who can spread his hours before him, saying, this for God and this for myself, this for my soul and this other for my body? All your hours are wings that beat through space from self to self. He who wears his morality, but as his best garment, were better naked. The wind and the sun will tear no holes in his skin. And he who defines his conduct by ethics imprisons his songbird in a cage. The freest song comes not through bars and wires. And he to whom worshipping is a window to open but also to shut, has not yet visited the house of his soul, whose windows are from dawn to dawn. This is one of the major problems that we have today. People have separated spirituality from religion. We have religious people, but they are not spiritual. We have spiritual people, but they are not religious. Khalil Gibran is saying everything that he has been talking about, all the spiritual knowledge that he has been given, is in essence religion. Religion is a way of life, a pathway back to God. Your spirituality is your true essence of yourself and the way that you express that path to God. Religion becomes the way that you self-discipline and you set certain standards and certain ethics and morals in your life to abide to in order to move on to the path of God. And a person that is religious and they pray, they open the window to God, then they close it, and then they go about doing their own self, their own life, but they think separate, that they're separate from God, and they only open that portal when they pray. That is a person that isn't living fully in their religion. That is not somebody who